I met Sarah, a 6-year-old girl who dreams of becoming a lawyer. JM, a 12-year-old boy who wants to become a policeman. And Maynard, a joyful 8-year-old boy whose goal is to be a teacher. While these kids dream of their future professions, I dream of something else. I dream of meeting this wonderful girl with long hair, snow-white skin, eyes that see my soul, and a smile that can light up the entire universe. I will fall deeply in love with her, and I'll marry her. Then we'll have cute little babies, one girl and one boy. That's my dream, to have a happy family. Somehow I developed this dream of mine while growing up as a kid. My mom and dad would always tell me that family is important. They took great care of me and my 3 sisters. They provided all of her basic needs and sent us to school. And every Sunday we go somewhere to have a family bonding. I am very fortunate to be part of a happy family. But of course, every family goes through some problems. Sometimes my mom and dad will have petty quarrels. Perhaps life gives challenges to test how strong our family really is. When I reached college, my father had to go to Korea to work there, and as assumed, my parents argued more often, and the struggles in our family lasted for a longer period of time compared to before. The day came when the problems in our family became too much for my dad to handle, that he neglected his responsibilities as a father. There is something in him that changed and disheartened him to live life. Next thing I know, the once happy family we have is nothing but a memory. I never imagined our family would turn out this way. I thought a family always stays happy. But I guess I'm wrong. The events I've mentioned sparked my interest in understanding the dynamics of families, especially here in the Philippines. I started observing what's happening in the society. What initially got my attention are poor families in marginalized communities. In a closer inspection, it can be seen that those families have excessive number of children. Some have 16 to 20 children in just one family. And sadly, majority of those children suffer from lack of access to basic needs, quality education, and health services. What's more alarming is that according to the census data in year 2000, poorest areas have the highest population growth rate, meaning that the poorer an area is, the faster their population increases, which results to more children deprived of basic needs. This vicious cycle is becoming unstoppable, and now these children attempt to alleviate their misery. They're forced to play patintero with fast cars and wander on the streets to beg for spare change. When there's nothing to eat, they resort to sniffing rugby to forget the hunger. Instead of learning English and math in school, they become drugs and alcohol abusers. Because of the need to look for work and employment, they venture into a hazardous working environment. They become victims of prostitution, pedophilia, pornography, illegal recruitment, and child trafficking. These wonderful children don't deserve all this pain and suffering. Then I asked myself, is poverty really the problem? As I became more aware of these issues of children welfare, I slowly realized what the real problem is. Things made sense when I volunteered as a tutor at Berlani Foundation, an institution that aims to help street children who came from very difficult situations. There I met the kids I mentioned earlier. Sarah, a very beautiful 6-year-old girl, visits her father in prison once a month. When Sarah gets mad or irritated, she uses profanities, which she probably learned in prison. JM is a 12-year-old boy who's intelligent in math. His mother was killed by his own father. JM bullies his classmates in school. And there's Maynard, a joyful 8-year-old boy who was molested by his uncle when he was 6. Maynard is being teased by his classmates for being gay. Every time I'm there at Berlani, I feel glad to help those children. It is wonderful to see how they are so thirsty of knowledge, despite of all the things that they've been through. However, it is so painful to think how those beautiful children are stuck in that abnormal family setup. And that's when I realized, those children are not victims of poverty. Those children are victims of their parents. The reason why there are so much children being abandoned, neglected, and abused is because of irresponsible parents. It is a shame that people don't bother to think about the consequences of their actions just to fulfill their earthly sexual desires. What I learned from all these experiences is that financial and emotional preparedness are prerequisites to being a parent. When people learn about that, this vicious cycle that's oppressing Filipino children is eventually going to stop. Let us remind ourselves of that fact, and let us once again improve the quality of Filipino families, because it is from here where another Sarah, the future lawyer, JM, the would-be policeman, and Maynard, the aspiring teacher, will be born. And as for me, I still dream of having a happy family in the future. But for now, I need to learn how to accept and to forgive so as to bring back the joy in our family. Thank you.